Still going over the data today in the NASDAQ, big reversal, biggest reversal since 2008, November the 13th, when the market, the S&P is down 4% and it rallies back above the close. What was unusual to me, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you the Easy Language indicator for a new price movement indicator, and I'm going to show you the daily distribution chart in Excel for this price movement going back to 2007. Looking at the NASDAQ and discussing the best ways to trade this market. What was unusual to me, and we're seeing some selling here overnight, I thought that this move might create a multi-day rally, but I thought this market, I didn't look at this until the end of the day, and I'll watch this volume sum indicator sometimes, and usually the volume reverses with the price, and so you see the price making the lows. It moves higher, the volume becomes more, blue is more bullish on the day, up volume, red is down, but then right here, the volume was moving to new lows, while the price was not. Then the price continued higher, but the volume continued to move down. Now, I'm going to show you this in the ES, and this is one of our top strategies lately in this type of market. I'm going to show you some trades it takes. Let's scroll back. It can go through some choppy trading, but it can take some big trades too. So let's scroll back here. So you take a look at this trade right here. Really nice short. Want to be a part of those trades. It just really has a knack for getting in on these short trades. There's something more that we need. This is the new Micro 20 NQ. And so there are some days when the market sells off into the close, but there's a lot more reversals than normal, and this reversal day was huge, and it was done on a day when the NASDAQ had more negative volume by the end of the day than the low point of the day. So the low is here, but then the low in the volume continues lower. Let's look at that in the ES so I can show you. ES, it did reverse. ES is a more liquid market, so you see that the reversal happened, and the volume down here went from negative. It started to this volume started to go positive, move in a positive direction as the market was moving lower. So the volume led, and then the volume was positive enough here to generate a buy signal. So you see this buy signal in the ES, but this doesn't work that great in the ES. Let's take a look at the chart. It's just worked. This just tells you how well it's worked in the last 12 trading days, or since December the 12th. And how unusual all these reversals are, because it doesn't usually work that well in the ES, but it's been working. So that's kind of what the struggle is something that doesn't normally works really well. Sometimes the strategies that work really well don't work as well. So that's what we're looking at. And you see the price movement pattern, also $500,000 in price movement nearly. The day ended right at $476,000. That is the point value times the range of each bar, summed up all day. Hypothetically, if you bought the low, sold the high, or sold the high and bought the low of each bar, completely impossible. Don't even try. This indicator is not designed to tell you how to trade. It's just designed to give you tell you what the price movement is during the day. And so I wrote this indicator. I'm going to share the Easy Language with you now so you can see that. So simple indicator, time is equal to 1700, the last bar, we change the value to 1. The value 1 is what we're plotting. If it's the first bar of the new session, then we multiply times the range of the 20. If it's not the first bar of the last bar, we just keep adding the previous bar value to it. And so we get a sum, and then we write the file at 1659 to a text file. And that's the Easy Language. And when I take the text file, you can see we open this text file and we generate a chart. And this is price movement in the NASDAQ. You can certainly see that since 2020, we are at a new level. The low level is elevated. Before, the low level was down here, and now the new low level is up here. So we are a grade higher in price movement on a dollar basis, and because we're at higher price levels too. But you see kind of this start to pick up in 2018 and even more in 2016. So we had the Micro NQ portfolio that worked since mid 2016, and you can kind of see why as this movement picks up prior to 2016. It's a little more flat. a little more flat, and then visually since 2016, you see more spikes. See these spikes here in 2016 and these price movement patterns. So this spike we had here is 476,000, highest since the pandemic. So this is a, what day is that in the pandemic that we had the high? Sometimes it's hard to find the exact date on that bar. So it is March the 19th, right before Fed stimulus, 571,000. Today we were at about 475,000. So we're at these pandemic level price movements. A rare pandemic. There was a lot more limit moves. We didn't even have a limit move today, and we're all the way up here. So that is price movement in the NASDAQ. Once again, here is the indicator, and this simply tells you how much price action is going on. 470,000, that would be about 23,000 points in the NASDAQ, which is more than the value of the NASDAQ. The value of the NASDAQ is 14,000, so if you went to zero, that would be 280,000. If you shorted it here, the NASDAQ went to zero, that'd be $280,000 per contract, and this thing moved 475,000. So just to give you a little perspective of what's happening. Also the range, high to low. If you just short the high, cover the low today on this range, you're at 14,574, and the low is 13,707. So almost 900 points, almost $18,000 on the range. But all the activity in that wiggles, all the wiggles in here are what we're adding up, basically the extra wiggles in the market. And so that is the price move. That's the indicator I want to share with you. This is some volume information that I wanted to share with you. It did reverse in the ES, but the volume on the NASDAQ was weak, and it's interesting to see what that might tell us going into tomorrow's trade if this was just a false rally in the NASDAQ. And I don't remember seeing that before. I don't watch this all the time. I watch it a lot, but I don't watch it all the time. So it's interesting to note that weak volume at the end of the day in the NASDAQ. Once again, you can see that here. Just weak, all red. More selling as the NASDAQ rallies. Hey, David Bean here. Welcome to Capstone Trading Systems YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe to join our community of algorithmic traders. We are real money traders. We share our winning streaks, we share our losing streaks, as well as market updates, strategies, and coding tips.